two. Anybody's in here yet? Nobody in here yet? Carpeting bunk boards for my boat trailer. It, nobody in here yet? Go ahead and start. I broke a bunk board trailer. One of my bunk boards on my trailer. So, I went and got stuff, ordered stuff for put new ones on, carpet, all that, and the big thing is, you haven't noticed, I have not posted a video for a couple of weeks. I've been busy. I have been fishing. I just have not been able to film when I've been out. Mainly because of the time of day, and the other one is I had clients in the boat. And a lot of them don't want to, film with the fishing and whatnot. Understandable. Now, they're paid to go out, so my concentration's on them. And yeah, so I put it on the trailer the other day. I've had one that quarter was broke on the edge. So it's been that way now for about a month. I figure I better do it before the bus was attached to the trailer, and then I'm really in trouble. So I went and got the boards to do this with. If you haven't done it, you get the carpet, it comes in rolls, you get different lengths. Just get a good quality one, a good heavy one, don't get a real cheap one. This I think is made by Cuda. It's a name brand on it. It's the heaviest one they had. And then they got kits. It comes with staples, stainless steel staples. Don't use just your regular staples like you buy, at the hardware store or whatever. If you do, make sure you get rust-proof ones. Make sure you get them long enough. These thick carpets, so it's got half-inch staples that come with it. Another thing about the lumber you want to use, you hear people, if you can use just regular, like my boat, it's 2x4s. Some people replace them with 4x4s so it lasts longer. The big thing is what kind of lumber you use. This is the yellow board from Lowe's. It's just 2x4. Okay. You want to make sure you put something between it and your hull on an aluminum boat, especially if it's non-painted. It's got a copper solution they used to do this with. It'll react to the aluminum and cause pitting and eat the aluminum away over time. And it's your boat's set directly on it, so you want to make sure that you put something between it and your boat. A lot of most boat bunks are this stuff, and they just put carpet on them. It's just so it's not sitting directly on it. I like to put something else on there. Either you can use like your zip tape, like your zip board. It's a rubber tape basically. You put that across it. What I do, I go ahead and I glue my carpet and then staple it. I've never had a problem with it bothering the boat using this. You can use just regular 2x4 lumber, just your basic white pine. On the cheap end, keep in mind you use that, you're probably going to replace it every couple of years. It just rots away so fast. Another thing you can do if you want to spend the money, you can buy cypress boards. It'll last you pretty much forever. But they're not cheap, and you got to order them around here. Cedar's an option too. It'll last a little longer, but cedar's very soft. It will eventually rot too. It's expensive. So, this stuff's about $6-7 for an 8-foot board. You're going to pay $25-30 for a cedar board. So this is just cheaper alternative. It's going to last 12 years probably, maybe longer. Just depends on how much you're in and out of the water. But I'm carpet line, and then also I bought slides. They're a Teflon plastic, whatever, and you mount them, they go on top, and that way the boat slides on and off the trailer. It's a double-edged sword with these. When you put it on the trailer, pull up, turn your motor off, and you start walking up like my boat. Even without those, my boat will slide back a couple of feet, and then I got to start back up. So I got to leave my motor, engaged a little bit, so to keep it sliding down the trailer as I walk up and put my hook on. But yeah, so that's what I'm doing. I have not posted a video, like I said. I've been busy with carpet work. If you watch the channel, you've heard me say in the past that, I have a carpet cleaning business that I do, and his wife basically inherited his part. And I ended up buying her out here about a month ago, a little over. So I've been dealing with getting all that stuff situated, straightened out, changed over, whatnot, as well as just doing the work. And springtime, when school gets out, usually June especially, is about my busiest month, right around holidays and stuff like that. December and whatnot, that can get busy. But in the summertime, when school gets out, June's usually a really good month. And so I've been busy cleaning carpet. That's what's happening there. And then, as far as guiding, I've been doing about 2 trips a week. That's about what I do. I don't try to do it full time by no means. And if I'm not on fish, I tell people I'm not on fish. It's been pretty good fishing all in all. I know a lot of people have been struggling with crappie out the lake. I haven't had much problem finding fish. The problem's getting the bite. Now I'm a little different this time of year. I tend to drag crankbaits until they start spooling up again, which they've started doing. And so last trip I had was this is Friday. The last trip I had was on Wednesday, 2 days ago, I guess. And I actually found fish schooled up, and they caught them. They wanted them in it. They didn't want jigs, and it worked a lot better. We tried jigs. They caught a few fish, but not like when you put a minnow down there in front of them. But we were catching them under a slip cord about 12, 14 foot down, right off the bottom, around some brush piles and then on the crappie condo cubes. It's kind of where we were fishing them. I was fishing mid-lake. I did go over to Southport. Water was pretty good over there. We're supposed to get some storms tonight. Hopefully it don't screw it up too bad for the crappie. But man, we need it for the catfish. I have not done a catfish trip since May. The reason being is spawn starts and I don't book trips in June usually because of spawn. You can go out and you catch channel cat. I got a buddy, he called me and he's like, hey, I went to that spot and did what you told me. He said they caught about 20 on it. They were using night crawlers and stick bait and back up in the creek a little bit, not real far. And they weren't real far up in the creek because there ain't a lot of fish way back. But they just want to catch the fish, so they used worms, stick bait, and caught a bunch of channel cat. It went out about 4 hours, and they caught about 20. They kept about 15 of them, they said. A couple of them pretty nice. But there are a couple of friends, they run lines, All they're catching still is small fish. Well, the blues, they ain't catching flatheads at all. But I think it screwed them up. They were getting ready to go under, and we had that cold rain right there at the first part of June, and dropped that lake temperature mid-70s down into the mid-60s off of that rain we had. And I think it really messed them up. They went late. They were going to go. They're staged up, getting ready to do it. A few of them might have went. I think the bulk of the fish ended up holding off for another week or two until the water got stabilized again in mid to high 70s. And then they finally went. They're a couple weeks behind, I think. Normally by now they're already off. I'm chasing pretty hard. Everything I'm hearing, I haven't been chasing them because I've been doing crappie trips instead because, well, that's just, I know I can get to them, so that's what I've been doing. Like I said, I only do a couple trips a week. I don't try to do, trips 5 days a week full time. I just do a few here and there. And that's all I kind of try to do. All in all, I mean, fishing's been actually pretty good this year. All spring was good. Of course, that my scope. So that's a subject story to share with you on that. I was fishing last time I went out was the day before I posted the last video. I went out, and then I went out the day after that. I edited the video and then went out the next day. Posted that video and then went fishing after I posted that video. Well, the video I mentioned, it gets busy at the ramps and stuff. So try to be patient with people. Don't lose your patience with them. And ruin somebody's day or your own. I came in for fishing. I've been out pulling cranks, and I had a limit crappie, a couple walleye, and I decided, I went in to dress my fish, and I went up to the boat ramp, just like you do to dress your fish. And I dressed my fish, and older gentleman and his wife come to the cleaning station, and I just being friendly and start talking to him. How you doing? How'd you do this and that? And he goes, well, I caught 4. I'm like, okay. He's like, looks like you did good though, didn't you? I'm like, yeah. I said, I was pulling cranks. I said, I caught a couple over live scope. I said, for the most part, I was pulling cranks. Well, this little guy, he started going off on me. And how he, without saying the exact wording he said, because there was a lot of 4-letter this and that, name calling and whatnot, he proceeded to tell me that he hated guys like me, and we're ruining lakes for everyone. Guides should be shot, teaching people where to catch all the fish, whatnot. Keep in mind, all this was while being told how nice of a human being I was, personally, and whatnot. And I just kind of was like, kind of taken back. Was just like, well, okay. Know where he stands at. So I just kind of shut up. I just quit talking to him. He made a couple more comments. His little fat wife we're not talking about a young guy either. We're talking, he's probably in his mid to late 60s. You know, I mean, he's an older gentleman. And so I'm just trying to not ruffle any more feathers than, you know, had already been. He was already pretty cranked up. I didn't need a big confrontation in the boat ramp. And anyway, make a long story short, next thing I know, this dude comes flying around the Indian cleaning station. Out of the corner of my eye, I see something coming at me. He comes flying around the corner of that cleaning station full bore, and it falls off and just pushes me as hard as he can. And I kind of went, you know, kind of off kilter. Ended up going, I was by where the fish dump in, where the guts and stuff go, and he was on the other end, on the other side. By the time I got my feet back under me, I was all the way on the back side. I probably went 6 feet before I got my feet back under me. Good. And, okay, this is not what I was really expecting to do today. But, so when this happened, you know, I kind of sitting there, or I wasn't sitting there, but a couple feet under me, and I'm standing there, kind of half shocked, you know. I got my fillet knife in this hand, you know, and my fish carcass in this hand, where I hold on to crappie fillet. I'm sitting there, and this guy's about to me to the camera, about 6, 7 feet away now. And this dude squares off. He's like, I'm sick of you, I'm gonna kick your ass or something, excuse my French. And I just, you know, did like this. I dropped the stuff and put my arms in there, and I said, oh man, I don't want to hurt you know. And I said, you need to calm down. There's no sense in this, you know. And he just, here he come at me again. Well, in the meantime, thankfully, there was a couple guys that, and I don't know who they were, but they were walking up to the cleaning station, and they seen all this happening. And when he shoved me, I heard somebody yell. I just thought it was him. It wasn't. I guess it's these 2 guys. One of them, you know, was like, "Hey," you know, type deal. And like I said, I didn't know these 2 guys. They knew who I was, you know, from the videos, I guess. And they come over, you know, by the time he came at me. He come at me again after I told him, you know, hey, there ain't no sense in this. He came at me again. Well, it was a mistake. I grabbed a hold of him, put him on the ground, put my knee down on his chest. Of course, he's flailing, cussing and carrying on, calling me names, whatnot. Little fat wife, she decides to get involved at this point. And she's screaming, hollering, and whatnot, heading towards me. It ended up, the 2 gentlemen was walking across the parking lot. Ended up, one of them headed her off at the pass, and the other one grabbed me and separate me from him. Understandable. And I dialed the phone, called the police, you know. I just got hold of him there on the ground. That's all I was going to do. I wasn't going to hurt him, you know. My fight days are about over. If I fight now, it's going to be bad. It's going to be a bad ending for somebody. But, you know, I'm out there to have a good time. I was just trying to be friendly with somebody. They decided to be a lack of better terms, you know, a shithead. And can't control that. And anyway, he got that other guy that came over when he peeled me off of him. He stood up. I guess his wife went over, grabbed her stuff, and they jumped in the truck with the boat took off. None of us got a plate number on it, and we tried, but none of us seemed good enough to get the plate number. But I know what kind of boat he had and what he drove, and needless to say, that I'll see him again, and I'll run into him again. I'll just call sheriff and have him deal with it. I don't have it on video, but I got the guys' names and seen it, and they said I need a witness to let them know their phone number. And so I'll just have to do it that way. Who knows, you know, maybe the person that lost their head done that to me. Maybe they'll watch this video and just let me know if you see this. I just avoid Mark Twain. Because I can promise you I'm going to make life difficult on you. Acting like that. There's no sense in that. If my nephew would have been with me, my father and my nephew would have been there when we were all together. You wouldn't have liked that outcome. But yeah, there's no sense in acting like that. You're not doing anything making problems for yourself. Now, I understand the hatred of live scope in a way, and everybody's entitled to their own opinion. But when you start making things physical like that, you know, that's not the way to do things. Especially with somebody, I mean, hell, one of the fish, I can give you the ones I'm dressing, you know. In fish on. And to act like that, I ain't got much use for people like that. There's no sense in it, for one. Two, I mean, you don't know who you're walking up on. What if it had been somebody that just did not care and had an arm? To act like that. And also, what in your right mind? I mean, I understand there's some bad people out there. I'm 6'1", almost 300 pounds. And this dude's like 5'10", maybe 170, 180 pounds soaking wet. And an old man, you know. I guess he thought maybe I wouldn't, you know, he'd get away with it. I can tell you right now, in this area, they're lucky you grab a hold of somebody's arms. But, yeah, I couldn't believe that's the first time I ever had that happen to me. I've seen some fights in boat ramps. That's a regular occurrence. Seems like in the summertime, especially on holidays, somebody's always getting in an argument in a boat ramp. I've never had anybody come at me like it. It's the first for everything. Yeah. I guess y'all can hear me. It's air conditioner's going and I got a fan blowing in here. So I'm sure there's probably a little almost sounds like interference to the fans on this air conditioner. Well, I just almost didn't get it lined up perfect. One thing, you buy one of these kits, buy a couple extra boxes of staples, because the one that comes with it probably ain't going to be enough. I tend to overdo it on this. I want to make sure it's held good. Almost got this one done. A couple people in here. Said, I hope y'all can hear me. One thumbs up, thank you. But yeah, so that's what I've been doing. All I'm doing is just rolling this down to get it tight. Everybody's been to the boat ramp, seen somebody's boat box. Looks like a carpet on them. Just barely hanging on. Getting as tight as I can on it. Out of staples. Now, it's been so hot, I haven't been pushing it to get out. I've been going at night a couple times. I went and crappie fishing and using lights, hang them off the side of the boat. And then just minute, I got black lights on my boat, so I can use the black lights with bright colored corks. And those bright colored corks that really glow under the black lights. Staple hung. So I using black lights, you can see them corks. Works out pretty slick. Put one, and you fish just like you do during the day, same structure and everything. You just get there right at dark. It usually takes about an hour, a little over, for the fish to kind of congregate good. Where you're catching them at a decent rate, kind of slow until they all kind of gather up. You don't really catch them right in the light. Kind of catch them on the edge where the light and dark is. stapling. I already cut my carpet. My butt boards are full 8 foot, so I didn't have to cut that. It's about 8 foot board. I'm not being chintzy with the staples. Putting them in it. Alright, pretty well. One done. All ready. Get this side here. That ain't going nowhere. Alright, now I got these things. I may go ahead and use a carpet on the other one and put these on. Alright, we'll set this off to the side here. Got a carpet already cut. Make sure when you put this on there, too, if you're one of the people that does everything in a hurry, make sure you got your carpet with your fuzzy side toward the boat, not the backing side, so you don't mess up and glue your carpet on upside down. I say that because I'm one of the people. When I do something, it's like, you've heard the old saying, he commenced to killing chickens. Well, that's, yeah. I tend to go as fast as humanly possible when I'm doing something. And I got to make sure I think of that. Sometimes saying it out loud is the best way for me to remember it. So I don't do it. All right, it is right there. Let's take it. I got a fancy dancy little paint marker right here. I can mark on here where to put this board back down so I get it back in the right place. Yep. All right. Now, lube. I'll tell you what, this stuff can stick with grease. I bought this about, I don't know, hell, I bet I bought this 10 years ago. I have a 16-foot boat. It's probably been longer than that. I carpeted it. I made a mistake when I carpeted the boat. They glue it to the metal. Yeah, I don't want to do that. And come time to redo it, the wood part, of course I had to redo the metal part because the carpet all matched. I like to never got all this glue off that metal deck on that other boat. So that was definitely a lesson learned there. Not use carpet glue on your metal parts on the John boat. Just use that 3M spray adhesive if you want. It cleans up with acetone pretty easy. Luckily, when I bought this boat, it didn't have no carpet on the front deck. I thought, I'm not going to put that on there. And so I know what I want to do with it. And I went out the first couple times, and my guy took off, and the sand and stuff that would blow in your face, you know, not having any carpet to keep the trap and whatnot. So I ended up carpeting this one first right after I got it, just to keep the sand and stuff down on it. Smear it on here. The quicker the better you can do this. I got all kinds of fans blowing in here. It will dry up and won't stick to your carpet if you take too long. Trying to get all the globs out of it. I don't care if it's a little bit. I've got a little bit of status. It just helps hold the carpet. But you really don't want anything glossy because this stuff will set up hard. You want it fairly smooth on the top for sure. Right. Well, I got it smeared on there good enough. I'll hold it. Oh, it's not sticking. Two side boards and then the two bottom. So it's all mine. I don't have a cross board across the middle of both anywhere. Once you place it down on this carpet, it's on there. Go. That one. Well, that one. Got a couple in here. Well, I get that carpet glue on me. I'm telling you. I know what takes it off of. I don't know if I posted it talked about them in the last video or not, but these crocodile claws, which is backwards in the camera right now, but they're called crocodile claws. I found these at Farm and Home. I used to have dude wipes. You ever heard dude? It's like they're kind of like baby wipes. The only difference is that the dude wipes, they don't smell like a baby when you use them. Same way with these. But they're nice to have out in the boat. You gotta go to the bathroom or whatnot. Wipe your hands off when you're done fishing. The only thing about dude wipes is the claws are kind of small and they fall apart real easy because they're flushable or biodegradable. And these are too. These are biodegradable, but they're not flushable. Where the dude wipes are, now these are 15 inches by 10 inches, and they got tire scrubby little bumps on them. But the nice thing about it is they're durable. I mean, they will tear, but you can get some, you wipe your hands off, you can scrub with them, and they don't fall apart. And the nice thing is they stay moist for quite a while. So you don't, it comes 80 a pack for $20. And they take the fish smell off your hands, you don't smell fish on you. And they've worked out really good. I like them. I use them here in the shop a lot. They got different ones. They got them for mechanics, carpenters. They got them for outdoorsmen, which one of them is. Then they got one for painters. I just got the fire scrub, just their original one. And I'm telling you, I didn't find anything it won't take off of me yet. Takes the carpet glue off of me real good. But yeah, it'll take paint. Paint them spooks. I got paint on me one day. And I went out and grabbed them. It wiped the paint right off of them. Yeah, there. Yeah, I pushed pretty hard. I don't want this tight. I was thinking, we could do, like I said, sure use stainless steel staples so they don't rust. Just save yourself a headache later. What's going on? Damn. Oh, staple guy don't like these stuff that much. There we go. There we're back to business. Didn't take me anything yet. Wait, asking questions. got one consistently in here. Somebody's either watching, waiting for something to happen, or they walked away and just let it go. Appreciate the view. Sticking with it here. I get to concentrate. Forget about talking. It, one thing is, got news. I posted it on the Facebook page. If you're not on the Facebook page, of course I have the DL Sinkers catfish stuff, dragon sinkers and the spooks, whatnot. Picked up a new retailer. You guys down in the Troy, Winsville area, Precision Marine out of Winfield. They're east of Troy on, I think it's 47. Is going to start carrying the stuff. I took him kind of a, I guess you call small order. He has a few things in there. What he carries is quality stuff. You don't carry a whole lot of different brands of stuff as far as for fishing. You don't have hardly anything for catfish. He's got some rods. He's got some PWC rods for catfishing. And he had some cat rods and some Denali rods for catfishing. For crappie, he carries ACC, Denali. I know I've seen that in there. He does carry the Gape custom crappie jigs that I use. He carries those. Both hand-tied jigs and jig hits. His primary thing is he works on, does marine, boat graph install, works on boats, that type of stuff. But he's got a nice little lobby area. Carries Pro Choice marine lithium batteries, I know, and their chargers. I think he had some AGM, Pro Choice AGMs in there too. He carries, I can't think of the name of them off the top of my head. Your catfish food. You probably heard of them. It's that fancy bait tank. They're made out of the I call it cutboard material. I can't think of what it's called. They're made out of that. He carries those there. And then he does marine installations, trolling motors. I think he works on motors, installs grass. I know he sells stuff too. So, I think he's a Suzuki dealer. I know one friend of mine. I know he bought his motor from him. It's a Suzuki over winter. But another friend of mine is a highway patrol guy down in that neck of the woods. He's bought several things from him. I know he put a new head on his Ultrex. The spotlight was working on it. And he took it to him. He installed a new control panel on his and everything on the Ultrex for him. So make glue on my scissors, man, they don't want to cut. Come is it when you get in the hard part where you want it, you run out of staples. Back in. We'll staple this one too close. Alright. What I'm going to do, you ain't going to see it anyway. I'm going to go down these sides over down there and put a staple. Make sure it don't move. There you go, old John books. I really don't care. Somebody sees it, I'm like, it's not their boat. Just to kind of help take some of the tension. I'm not going to put any staples on the tops where it touches the boat. I'm just going to put a couple down the sides just to help hold it. Everybody's seen them boat trailer bunks and they look like they've been wrapped by a 10-year-old. They'll stretch over time. Look like they didn't pull it tight. In any case, a lot of times you can stretch it that much. Just to kind of hold it in place. Fill in the staples here. Put the staple about every 1.5 inches. I do not want to come loose. I bought extra staples just because I figured they wouldn't give me enough to do it how I wanted to. So far, I've just used one box. It gives you one box of staples for each roll. Now I have the 2 sideboards to do yet. They're 36 inches. But these are 8 foot. They're going to take a lot more staples than that. Who knows? It comes with directions. I've done enough of these. I really don't need the directions. One short. I wanted that last one. All right. There we go. There's the other long one. Now, I've got these fancy dancy things. And what they are is they go on there to help your boat slide on when you're loading. I got to figure out where I want these at. And the end ones, you got 2 of them in there look like that, and they go on the ends where your boat loads on. And then the rest of them are just flat. Now, they come with screws and everything to put them on with. They're stainless steel screws. Got those. There again, that's just another layer away from this treated board. Boat won't be sitting on it, so it'll give it enough room it can kind of dry. All right. Good there. There. And those of you that are extremely anal about how things go, 8 1/4 inch gap there. 9 1/2 inch. Yeah. I'll do that. Inch gap. Go. Come put your screws. Those. They're long enough they will not go all the way through. Short enough. All right, let's see. See how this goes. Even if they do go all the way through, it won't really hurt anything, other than it's just a place water can get in from the back side, because your bottom is going to be under the boat anyway. And just get screwed down. Try to get it reasonably straight. Bang, bang, bang. Shouldn't really have to pre-drill these, I wouldn't think. I wouldn't want to. If you buy quality, a decent lumber, you shouldn't have to worry about split. It's far enough away from the edges. It shouldn't split. Get asked about my little drill here. If you haven't seen one, they're pretty neat. I got it at Lowe's. This is a 12-volt version. They make a 20-volt version of it also. I just got the 12-volt. Just use it mainly on little stuff. I got bigger 20-volt drills if I need the extra torque. But what it does is, it's got a trigger right here in the front. Push down on it, spins around. Now you got your drill. You counter drill your hole, flip it around, put your screw on the bent, drive it home. They call them cabinet drills. And it's got a clutch on it. It's all electronic clutch. I got it set on drill right now. And it's got 2 speeds, high and low. Got a little light, but and your batteries have a tester on them and whatnot. But I bought it and I like it. And it uses the same battery as my I got a little skill saw here, a little skill on it. And it uses the same battery as this. Just compact, where this is actual drill. That's got a speed check on both ends. And It's pretty torquey. I don't think it's got as much torque as the actual drill, but it does fine. Like I said, anything where you need to really put some torque on a screw or something, I wouldn't use it. I'd use a 20 volt, which I have 20 volt reel with, so. And I need a little heavier, a little more guts to it. I grab them anyway. They work pretty good. You just screw on their countersunk. They got a place to go in. And if you were worried about, it scratching anything, screws, you could put epoxy in where the screws are. You make them a pain in the butt to get out later, but you could do that. But I don't think they'll back out. Biggest thing, you don't want screws. You put stuff in like this and it pops or backs out. A lot of times you're over tightening it, especially when you're screwing stainless into these treated boards like this. They usually don't back out, but if they strip, especially doing this, you can't stop your finger without stripping. Make sure you use your clutch and set your clutch so it doesn't tighten enough to where it strip out. What I'll end up doing, I get this done, is I got a canopy that I can take with me, and I'll go to like a boat ramp. I usually go to secondary ramp, one outside of Perry or somewhere where it's not busy during the week, and I'll set that canopy up, and I'll drop my boat in, and then I'll pull my trailer up under that canopy, in the early morning. It's cool, and pull my boat under there, and take the tools I need to do it, and take the old bunks off and put the new ones on in the parking lot. You haven't got a place or the ability to lift the boat off the trailer. And I mean, I could jack it up and set it on blocks or something here, but it's just so much easier not to mess with that. Both else fails, I can take it up to my dad, put it in his pond, and put the trailer in the air conditioned shop, do it in the air conditioned shop at his house. If I wanted to, I'm sure. But then after I get it done, if I have to, use a tractor to pull the boat back out of the pond. Just makes a mess, bloody mess out of the trailer. There we go. These are ready to go on. I may jack it up and good here in the shop than the air conditioner. I don't know. There's kind of what it does. You see them on there. Of course, there's the end one. That can go where you at the end of the trailer. See how hopefully it makes it slide a little better. The boat's so darn heavy that when I got loaded down with gear and live well full, especially when I had my toolbox live well, and then I got the live well 30 gallons on the boat. But then if I put my toolbox in there, it's about 60 gallons. 60, 70 gallons. I fill that with water when I go put it on the trailer. It's all, that boat wants just pushing on. I don't like getting my feet wet. I'm kind of sensitive like that, believe that. But, like backing down, I can get out. I don't have to get my feet in the water. If I leave it back a little bit, which it does, hopefully, what I'm hoping is when I'm loaded down. And I pull up on the trailer, I don't have to stick the trailer so far in the water where I got to jump out and get out and get my feet wet. What I did is I put 4 inches electric carpet. Oh, I'll do it. Not exactly. That gives me enough. That's all carpet. I had 2 rolls. I bought 2 rolls, 16-foot rolls. And that's enough to do my whole trailer. Altogether, I think the carpet and the staples, which already had the glue, the carpet and staples, and the slides, I think altogether it was like $50 on Amazon. But yeah. And getting the bunk trailer boards done, what I recommend, if you can't do it yourself or just don't want to, I recommend call Brandon Spalding, Spalding Marine, and talk to him. I've seen him do several. He does a hell of a good job at it. I just did this for myself, but actually Brandon was working on my boat, did something for me that I could do, and I stopped out there visiting with him one day, checking to see how progress is going, just basically just pestering him, and he was working on one, and he didn't need my help, but I kind of gave him a hand for a couple minutes, for about a half hour or so. But what he did is he met them. They put their boat in there at the lake and went fishing, and then he grabbed the boat trailer from them, met them out there at the boat ramp after they put the boat in, and he took the trailer back and did the bunks while they were on the water, and then brought it back. When they got off the water, the trailer was done. So that's pretty good service there. So like I said, if you need yours done, you can't or don't want to, you can't do it, you're unsure how to do it, you don't want to mess it up, so you pay somebody else to do it, which is what we all do. And I get a hold of Brandon. He does good work. He's done quite a bit in my boat for me. When I run into something I don't know how to do, that's who I call or take to, one way or the other. I'm pretty handy with stuff. Lucky enough, I'm a firm believer in if you got enough buddies in life, you don't have to pay for much, because your buddies will be the first ones, people you call, and they're the first ones there to help you, when you need it. I'm pretty fortunate. I don't have any electrician buddies really. I got plumbing buddies. I've got all kinds of fishing buddies. But I got plumbing buddies, and I got carpenter buddies. I got a cousin that does HVAC. You know, it's a family member does HVAC. So I'm pretty lucky in that I get a lot of stuff done. It may cost me a little labor helping, but hey, I don't mind helping at all because I learned how to do it then. But I'm also a firm believer the day you stop learning how to do something and think you know everything is when you officially became an idiot. You know, because I don't know anybody that knows everything. And I don't know anybody's the best at everything that's being done. So there's always somebody better or knows a trick. 9 times out of 10, it's that old guy that you have won over as a friend or have known since you were a kid. Or it's your grandpa, or maybe your dad. They can show you little tricks. I was pretty lucky growing up. My dad, or my stepdad, technically stepdad, I call him dad. He's earned that right. And he's about the best mechanic in this area. He retired a couple of years ago, but I don't know what I will do when he's gone. Because when I have a vehicle problem, I 9 times out of 10 call him first. Even though he's been retired for years, he can normally, if I don't know what it is, he can still tell me pretty much what it is on the phone. And then I have a couple mechanic buddies that have shops, and I don't buddy deal them too much on my work on my vehicles, but I know they're good, you know. So I take it to them, and the one I take it to has known Dad forever, and occasionally used to call him and ask him for his advice on something if he was stumped. And I had a Ford pickup, and I was having all kinds of problems with it. He couldn't figure, you know, he was stumped on it because it was doing weird stuff. He called Dad and asked him, between him and his knowledge, Dad's brain, by gosh, they figured out what it was pretty quick and got me back up and going. I ended up getting rid of that truck, not because of not being able to get it fixed. I just didn't have no trust in it no more. And I wasn't going to risk it doing it again. And with a Ford, if it's the good ones and bad ones, they're all brains as far as that goes. What you have best luck with. But for me, I'll never own another Ford. I love the room in them, but the engines are just junk. Especially that EcoBoost, which is what I had in that F-150. Now my work van is a Ford Econo, 3/4 ton with 5.4. But I'm telling you what, I've got almost 1 million miles on it. My carpet machine runs off PTO drive, and it has a clutch system that runs off the van engine uses the serpentine belt to spin it. Goes back behind my seat on PTO to a gearbox. And that 5.4 is awesome. I have no complaints on that thing. I've done replace the motor and about anything else I've done. And I mean, I've replaced a lot. You know, I put a new throttle body on it and whatnot. When you got that many miles and it's still running, you can't complain. But with all these new motors, especially the Fords, I don't know about Dodge just because I've had a Dodge once and I'll never do that again. I got my great shot Kirk feeling, that's for sure. bought a Dodge from them back in the early 90s. It was junk. It wasn't their fault. But this board was partially their fault. I ended up getting screwed pretty bad over by them on that. I had that truck, bought that truck in the warranty, about 7,000 miles under the warranty, and 2 days over on the time on the warranty. And they basically told me to go pound sand. When I called and told them that the motor blew up. I paid for the extended warranty and all that. You know, they want you. Illinois, a vehicle does not have to pass the Missouri inspection of itself. So there's clue number one: never buy anything from Illinois. But yeah. I got screwed over on that. That's all right. I thought it was funny. About a year and a half after that, called me to clean carpet. Be happy to give you a bid on carpet. Yeah, it did. They didn't. Yeah, those things. Hope y'all hear me. Hopefully somebody would have typed in there, hey, we can't hear you. I can see we can type. Type it. I can turn on I got a internet right there, wall. I can turn that on to see if I can hear. I don't know if it'll affect me. I'll get a bunch of interference. That's it. We're almost done with this. I'm gonna call it. Dang, I made a bunch of sinkers too this morning already. I've been out here since about 6 o'clock. My wife goes in at 4:30 on the weekends. So I don't really get to sleep in that much. I'm usually the poor dog wakes me up when she leaves. Lets me know, Dad, Mom's gone. I stay. See 3 still in. I think that's the same 3. Not real sure. People come in and out on these live streams. Alright. This around. I got carp glue on my fingers. Put glue on the side of it, and I got it all down my fingers. And on there now. I'll end up with black fuzzy all over there. And my crocodile white dried out of it. It's sitting out for about, well, since before the beginning of the spring. Need another one. There. And right off. I'll be darned. Okay, glue right off my hand. Right off my finger. Comes right off. I can see that glue on that finger or not. They take wipe that off and just literally just peels right off. Just like that. And I'm glad. Normally you have to wear that stuff off. You need glue type stuff like that. I know how to take wood glue off, you know, working wood, using wood glue. A lot of times you get it on your finger, that's the easiest way to spread it. It will take wood glue off when out of state. Find out I got to open a new box. New box. I got plenty because I bought an extra box. Yeah. If you don't want nobody to see your shiny staples, get one of these construction grade Sharpies right here. Get one of those. Go over your staples. Nobody ever see them. And they don't come off in the water. After you see them. I don't know what kind of ink they use in these over the regular Sharpie. I use these on my jug lines that I make. And it don't come off. It does not come off in water. No, it's a sign one. Oh. lid on this one. Get my crocodile cloth I just used. Take it off. There we go. Perfect. Clean up a little bit here. And then do this one. Then I'll have it done and just have to put them on the boat. Thumbs up. Better than nothing. Up with this watch out 32 feet. I got some other stuff put on the boat too. Oh, I don't get that on there. Yeah. When I was down there at Precision Marine delivering them sinkers, I bought one of these to go on with my boat. I've got that hydro turf on it. Oh, so I seen them down there, so I bought them. Now you gotta get a bunk board out every 5 minutes. You flew on me again. Flew on me again. I got my fingernail too, that's what I'm supposed to do. Alright. Put this bad boy over. Pretty good. I can throw my towel away. Beater's cloth. Blew off my darn fingers. Alright. There's that one. That one. Put the lid on this. Hammer. On there, kids. I need it again. I got it. There. Here. I'm not doing anything fancy on these corners. I'm just cutting and tucking. I'm sure there's probably a certain way you're supposed to do them. This is how I've always done them and they work fine. I've never had any issues as far as coming undone, wearing funny, whatever you want to say. again. Staples to it though. Water coming loose. Last one. All right. Lift it up. All right. Done. All done. Side bunks are done. My fingers are getting wiped off. Yeah, done. Cool. Ended up with about half a box of staples. I didn't even use the box that I bought to come with the, that way I had plenty. So, that's good. I'd add extras now if I need them, but it tells me that in the kit, there's plenty of staples that came with the kit, where you don't really have to buy more. But I tend to get a little staple happy, so. And a box of staples was only like $3, so I just went and bought an extra box. But yeah, that's it. That's done. I put them on the boat. When I do that, I pull them off. I'm also going to wrap the line boat trailer. So, yeah, get all that done. And hopefully I'll be on the water here making videos. It's just so hot I don't go out in the daytime, and it's hard to film at night and get any kind of quality. It's always so dark. It takes so much light, and the bugs are so bad that I just don't like filming. I don't like eating bugs. So I'm gonna turn this off. I got done what I wanted today, was to get that done, ready to go. And then I may film when I put the boat in and actually put them on the trailer. And I'm going to do that next time I go, just for the fact that the ones that are on there, one of them's broke, so I don't want it to damage my boat. It breaks all the way. But that's it. So I'll get video out as soon as I can. I got one in there that's an older, I filmed quite a while ago, but I haven't edited it. Actually, I got two. I was kind of saving them for winter in that month and a half period there when you don't get out because the lakes are. I don't film, can't film Thomas Hill and not get in trouble. So I've been trying to keep a couple in the pocket for that. Cold, snowy, nobody's filming much. It gives you something to watch. But all in all, that went a lot easier than I didn't think it'd be hard, but I thought it'd be a little more challenging than what it ended up being. But if you're here, thanks for sticking around this long. And yeah, I'll see you later.